We are gathered here to fill you with fear and give you a treat for your ears as we invade your mind with our scary rhymes and some tales that can be gory. As you bear witness and sit here and listen to our poetic horror stories. My best friend and I knew each other since we were kids. Our parents would say, "You two are attached at the hip." We were closer than twins. One day, we went to a bookstore and we found a discounted bin with an old book of spells. It looks very old as far as I can tell. We took the book to my house and thumbed through the pages. The pages were brittle and very worn. You can tell it's been around for ages. We turned to a page titled, "Sacrifices to Receive." And my best friend looked over the page and she started to read. In order to receive, you would need to make a sacrifice. You would have to first make sure you have a knife. Start off small and sacrifice a mice. And make sure the mice are alive. It will struggle for its life to survive. But this is a necessary sacrifice. Then hold on to the mice. Then take the knife and slice. And now the mice are in two. You are close to the end of the spell. You are almost through. Put the blood into a cup and drink. It's not as bad as you may think. Now say these words. I have made a sacrifice to receive for something that I want and I need. If you followed this correctly, then the next day you shall receive. Whatever you choose to sacrifice will come back to you equal in size. This is important. Just keep this part in mind. So, for bigger things, you will need a bigger sacrifice. Any living animal will suffice. There was more to the spell, but the page was torn. So my best friend couldn't read the rest and couldn't go on. But I had a bad feeling about this, and we should take heed and be warned. I told my best friend, I'm not going through with this, so I'm out. I'm just not interested. Besides, we don't have the rest of the spell. But my best friend went on with the spell on her own. She followed up to the part of the page that was torn. After that, we went to sleep. The next day, she did find something that was in equal size to her sacrifice that she received. She had found a diamond ring on the way home. It was just laying on the ground on its own. She called to tell me that the spell really worked. And she wanted to sacrifice something bigger that was greater in value and worth. I told her she needed to be careful and don't get carried away. She said, "This is just harmless fun. It's just a game to play." She called me the next day to tell me what she found in her basement. She told me she sacrificed her pet guinea pig and she ended up with a very expensive tennis bracelet. I told her she needed to stop. She was obsessed. It was almost like she was possessed. She said, I am fine, and I can stop at any time. But I slowly started to notice cats and dogs in the neighborhood were going missing. She just couldn't stop herself. She just won't listen. A few days later, one of the neighbors couldn't find their child. The mother reported to the police that she just left him playing in the yard by himself just for a little while. I knew then this really needed to end. I couldn't ignore the situation and play pretend. When I made it to her home and knocked on the door was unlocked, so I entered, and what I saw had me floored. There was all kinds of expensive clothes, electronics, jewelry, purses, and shoes all over her house. I was speechless. Her house looked like a department store at the end of the year for a clearance sale blowout. I could hear noise coming down the hall from her parents' bedroom. My gut was telling me that this wasn't good. When I opened the door, it was a massacre. There was blood all over the place. She had killed her parents and was drinking their blood. It was all over her face. She looked to me like a monster, at least in my eyes. But when she looked at me, she didn't look surprised. She started talking to me in a horrific voice.
I had to sacrifice them so I could receive a Porsche.
So you sacrificed your parents for an expensive car. You have really taken this sacrificing shit way too far. Have you really taken the time to look at yourself? You have lost your mind and you need professional help. You have gone from sacrificing animals to people. You have changed from a loving and caring human being, daughter and friend, to this thing that is vile and evil. This spell has stolen away your soul. This can't continue. You have to let this go.
No!
She said.
You're just jealous of all I have. Is it you up inside that you don't do the spell? And now you want to act like what I'm doing is bad?
It is bad, I said. It's not only bad, it's sad. I only want to go back to the way it was before we found this book. I wish we never found that spell and you never read it. You're like an addict. You are hooked.
Really? Do you want to try and take this book from me? Well, come on, but you will be the next sacrifice I need. I was trying to give you a pass to sacrifice you last. But this is as good of a time. I'm ready to kick your ass.
My friend pulled out her knife. She came running at me, ready to strike. She did manage to cut my arm. The cut was deep, and I was bleeding bad. This had me alarmed. She said,
I can't wait to cut your throat. And I will happily drink from your wound as you sputter and choke.
She kept attacking me with such ferocity. She was relentless in her quest to kill me. But she had so much blind rage. She didn't watch where she was going and tripped over the guinea pig cage. The knife went sliding under the couch. We both raced to grab it to be the first to pull it out. She was powerful and tried to take it from my hand. But I had to win this fight or I would be damned. The knife was turned up towards her way. So I released the handle and it went in the middle of her neck. She looked at me, shocked and betrayed. She went down on her knees, then fell face first at my feet. It was finally over. My best friend was dead. It was hard to believe. I couldn't get this out of my head. I removed the book to take it with me. That's when the torn page fell out of the book sleeve. This was the missing part to the spell my best friend didn't read. Maybe if she did, she would still be here with me. The torn page reads, "Be warned, the more you sacrifice for bigger and bigger things, the deeper the want and desire this will bring. You will never be satisfied, no matter how hard you try. And because of this desire, you will release the monster deep inside. Your greed will be your demise. And in the end, you will be the one who will be sacrificed."